Let's look at life in a different way where you are an investment and not a cost. You are an asset, not a liability. How are we going to do that? And how are we going to 10x your growth? Simply by focusing on who, not how. This is my buddy, Dr. Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan. I recently got a picture with Dr. Benjamin Hardy because I focused on the who instead of the how. I focused on getting in the room and even paying to get into the room because I know that we could live without a community, but we're not going to thrive without a community. And some things are worth not doing. To truly exceed and excel in life, we must say no even more than we say yes. Because when we say yes too much, we're saying no to ourselves. And when we say no to others enough, we start to create a habit of being able to choose what works best for us, and then we work best for others. So, some of the key points out of this book are some great stories, like this guy who didn't want to pay an extra cost for his AC. It was $7,800. Before you think that's a good amount of money, he did a right choice right there. Realized that he was on his roof and fell off the roof just to save a few bucks, got in a coma for 2 months. How much would it cost you to be out of work for 2 months? This guy is a millionaire. So it cost him a lot more than it may have cost a lot of other individuals. He realized this over the 2 months that he could have caused brain damage for the rest of his life. Or worse, 50% of people that fall from over their own height onto their head die. So thank God he's still alive. And he started to realize it's about who, not how, and to say no to doing certain things that don't bring him enough return on investment. He started simple. He hired someone to do the Christmas lights, which was a big deal for him because he was so frugal, he would try and do everything himself. Can you relate to this? I sure can. Doing simple things that are really worth investing in yourself because it's costing you more not to have others help you do it, especially when you look at how much you make per hour or per week or per month and realize that you have some excess that you could put towards someone else helping you do something, and then maybe put more energy and effort or thinking, which all great things come from, to be able to create more of a return on investment for your time at work, your time at home, maybe start more investments, start other businesses, and be able to bring more income in by putting out more outcome to create more time and focus for yourself, more sleep, more work, more rest, more love. Because how can we put a price on these relationships? So we started off by getting some Christmas lights put up, but then he moved to hiring someone to build a website. He spent hundreds of hours learning how to code and do all of this stuff, probably a little while back, okay? Because now it's a little easier to build a website. But are you building a productive website? So he had someone else do it for him. He was amazed it was only $1,200 because he had spent so much more time that could have been used to create more assets for himself instead of putting all that time to make a website. Now, you may think, oh, I don't get paid that much. I don't have that much time. Be creative. You don't know what you don't know. And you don't know how to get into the situations until you get into those situations. It's about being creative and creating your own destiny. He also hired a CEO that he thought was expensive, $120,000 a year, but it ended up netting him millions of dollars per year. There's so many takeaways from this amazing book. Here's one of the chapter takeaways. By seeing whose as an investment rather than a cost, you can create transformational relationships in which all parties give more than they take rather than transactional ones. Trying to avoid cost by engaging in hows how do I do this? How do I do this? Will cost you and your future huge in the long run. That's another key point is don't just think so myopic, thinking in just like the short term of like what's going to happen this week or this month. One guy has a $25,000 investment that he says, when you join this group, you actually get paid to join that. And then you end up paying 25 grand. Of course you get paid because you're stepping in the room where one little piece of information can get you so much more than 25K. And sometimes the greatest things in life, like health, are not necessarily measured in dollars. Meaning, we would trade all of our money for one extra year of life or one extra year of health when we are sick. Why wait until we are sick to invest in our health? Because we're at backwards thinking. We're trying to rush through life because we've been taught to do it all ourselves and try and save a dollar. Time is not money. Time is infinitely more valuable than money, because if I gave you any amount of money for 1 year of your life, it wouldn't matter how much money that is. You would not accept it because a year of your life is greater than any sum of money. Give thanks like every year is worth more than any great sum of money, and start figuring out how to give more and how to be the who to someone else and hire the who for things that you need to get done instead of just focusing on how. Because some things other people are better than you at. And when you start to put yourself in a new position to think, ooh, even if I'm working a 9 to 5 job, that I could help to find other people to do what I'm doing and make it so I am working less and providing more to my job. Or you find out people and manage, because managers make way more money than the people they're managing, which means if you could create leadership, and leadership is different than managing. Micromanaging is not leadership. When you lead, you just tell someone what the result is that you are looking for, and they do it. You don't concern yourself so much about how they did it. And this is some of the brainwashing, if you will, that we've learned, because most of us were taught in school, how did you come up with that answer? And if you didn't come up with it the way that I presented it to you, then it's wrong. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter, because in the world, what really matters is results. And when we get the results, it doesn't matter how we did it. When we find out the right who, they could get the results in a fraction of the time. We have amazing resources right now. We have Fiverr with 2Rs.com, Upwork.com. We could literally hire people from other parts of the world that are happy to take a lot less money and give you a lot more than what some people are not able to do here. That's just a little food for thought. That is not the whole book. That is a teeny bit of an excerpt. And I hope that that gives you something to work with, to think about who can help you, who can shop for your groceries, who can clean your home, and if it's really worth it. Like if you produce enough money and don't like it enough to really hire someone else to do it. One last thing is the Pareto principle, or the law of imbalance. Think about what is the 80% of stuff that you do not like to do, and that you could hire someone out who to do these other things, so you could have more free time to spend with your family, to be more productive at work, or to think of new ways to invest and be of more value to the world. What is that 20% of your activity that is your strong suit, that you are super great at, that people will pay a lot of money for you to do things for? What is that 20% that when you put in, you get 80% of the benefits? And what is the opposite? What are you putting 80% of your time towards? Cleaning or watching TV, right? The income reducer. What are you reducing your income, reducing your assets by putting 80% of your time towards, and what is the 20% that is really giving you 80% of the results? It's an amazing principle, and it works throughout the world with just about everything. Thank you so much. You are amazing. Let me hear your amazing success stories. Put them in the comments or send them to me directly. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon.